It's taken 2 seconds of my time, but that could have made someone's day. If you see something that's worth saying, say it. It might change. Someone might need it that day and you really don't know.
It's just everyday life just feels better. I sometimes describe it as like I feel a bit cloudy if I don't do it, if that makes sense.
How weird that you said that. I woke up and I was like, I'm just run down. But I was saying to my mum, I was like, if I didn't go gym, I would have felt cloudy. It has changed my life. Like, and I mean it. Like, I used to smoke 20 cigarettes a day. I used to drink 3-4 times a week. And now it's none. My name is Austyn Farrell. I'm 32. Used to be a professional. I am still a professional dancer. Just when I want to be. But I now work on social media, TikTok, Instagram, dress up as Tina Turner on the occasion, or I like doing half marathons or marathons, apparently. You get a lot of difference.
I love the apparently in there, and look,
Yeah.
we'll definitely get back to that. But I do want to go back to kind of like the dancer portion of your kind of personality. I'm going to say, right? Like,
Yeah.
when did that first come into your life? And you strike me as an incredibly creative person, and I'm sure that's something that's run through your entire life.
I've always been a hyperactive person. I've always been energetic. So I've always played sports and stuff. And when I was younger, I used to play football. My dad used to be a fitness coach for Derby County, so it's all I've been brought up with, like seeing football, seeing sports. And I used to play, and then I actually broke my wrist, and they threw me out when I was like 15. I was in Leicester Academy, and I was like, I don't know what to do. I'm not smart or anything. Wasn't the best at school. And then I was in like this under 18 like nappy nights club thing. You just get Diet Cokes or unlimited lemonade. It was great. And I used to do backflips and stuff. And then this girl came over like it was in Step Up, and she was like, "Yo, you're a really good dancer. Do you want to come and join our crew?" And I was like, "Yes." So I was Sundays dancing. And it kind of calmed me down. Like I realized like this is something that I love. It's a focus. It's something that you can always get better with. And then from there, I went to dance school in Leicester, LCPA, for 3 years training, and graduated. I was like, what do I do now? And then literally the day after, I was like, you've got a job in London, Feel Alive, Michael Jackson's show. And I've just never looked back. Like I was like, this is what I want. This is what I was born to kind of do. Like the dancing career. And it's took me all over the world. It's given me lifelong friends. It's been absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's one of those things, right? Like when I first came across you and kind of started to look back at what you've done and some of your career highlights, when you write it down on a piece of paper, it's quite mind-blowing, right? The things you've done now, the places you've been, the people you've met, the things you've seen. Like, do you have time to kind of look back at the past a bit of time and reflect on kind of the things that you have done?
I I do and I don't. I'm one of them people um, that kind of look. I was going to say look back in anger. Is that like an Oasis song or something? Don't look back.
They're making anger. We're not going to stop singing.
No, it's not that kind of podcast. I'll sing along. I kind of look back on Time Hop, the app. Like it comes up. What was you doing 6 years ago? I look back and I go, "Oh my god, I forgot about this." And then I'll go into a deep dive of going on my Instagram, like back, and I'm like, "Oh my god, that was such a great time in my life." But I don't know. I'm one of them. I think when what you're taught as a dancer, it's not about this job; it's about the next job. So a lot of the times you don't actually take it in what's happening because you're always grafting for the next. And I think that loops in with a lot of other people's work. Is you kind of right, get this done, do a good job, okay, cool, on to the next. So you don't really take it in. But I do like on the occasion, like once every 6 months, I'll go into a deep dive of like memories and just look back at old footage and think, you did that. Like that was you. Like, you know?
It's so weird. Like you mentioned, kind of forgetting the things that you've done because I do exactly the same thing. And when you look back at stuff, you realize quite how big that thing felt in the moment.
Yeah.
But then now it's like you almost feel guilty for not remembering it because at the
Yeah.
time it was like the biggest thing. And I
Yeah.
think the lesson to learn from that and the lesson I've tried to take from that is like if something bad's happening and it feels like the biggest thing, the likelihood is that in, 5 years' time, probably not even going to remember it, are you?
No, not at all. Not one bit. Do you know what one thing I actually do? And it sounds so cringe, but everywhere I go, if it's with work and it's traveling or whatever, I have a playlist on my iMusic. I sit there and I pick a song like Love on Top Beyonce, and I sit there, don't look at my phone, just listen to music, and I take in the words and I take in my surroundings, and it reminds me of that moment. So every time Beyonce Love on Top comes on, it takes me back. Oh, I remember sitting Runyon Canyon, is it? In LA, and I was like just looking over the city. I was like, wow, like that's the only thing I kind of do to take in the moment. So then different songs remind me of that different moment. Is
Yeah.
that really sad?
No, it's not at all, because I totally understand it. It's that kind of being present in the moment, isn't it? And actually, like,
Yeah,
if you sit down and you are doing something that you do want to remember, like, I think it's really important that you sit in it and you kind of think to yourself, like, I want to remember this moment because this moment's something that's going to be, like a defining point in my life. And
yeah,
it's kind of strange, those things that you do remember sometimes, because sometimes you remember the really menial things over the things that are like the best things that have ever happened in your life.
yeah,
Do you ever find that? Like, that's an odd
yeah.
thing, isn't it?
It is a very odd thing, but I think like, I agree with you. I think a lot of other people agree with that. It's tough to lock it in, I think,
Yeah,
sometimes.
100%.
And then sometimes you feel guilty for locking it in because you're thinking about the next thing. It's
Yeah.
always about the next thing. Like, but there's one thing, especially this year, I've tried to embrace the moment a lot more and do things that I want to kind of do. So I look back and go, like at the end of the, I was speaking to my friend yesterday, at the end of the summer, I want to go, I've done everything I wanted to do this summer. And look back at it and go, what a great summer. A lot of the times it's just, I didn't do this, didn't do that. I'll do it next year. No, let's do it now. Let's lock it in. Let's do it, you know?
Yeah, and I think it's like being able to look back positively, isn't it? Because I think when you start looking back negatively in whatever way, if you're like, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that, that's just never a
Yeah.
healthy thing, because you're like, I didn't, like, I didn't do it. So like, kind of move
Yeah.
forward, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm always interested with the like fitness side of dancing. Like, what did you do, or what do you do to stay fit? Obviously, we'll get into the running side of things, but
Yeah.
like the dancing itself is a very high intensity exercise slash sport slash whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But did you do stuff outside of that as well to keep in shape?
I've always been into fitness. When I was younger, I used to run cross countries, like race the train, it was called in Wales. Just little things like that. Never professionally, never training for. I just used to love it. I've always had this energy. But I used to teach spin classes. So as a dancer, just as like a side job, but it wasn't a side. I was making enough money from dancing, but I just love instructing. I love fitness. I love helping people's making their day. My classes were in the morning because I'd love to try and wake them up and help them boost them. So I did that quite a lot, which was adding to the fitness. I didn't realize, as well as dancing, and then the running, and also it's the walking. London's a big place. You are walking. You are doing thousands of steps a day just to get from one place to another. So I suppose that's always been just a busy lifestyle. Has always been part of that fitness journey, and then you're dancing for 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's ongoing.
It, in like in the running space, you can be fit, but you're not necessarily always race fit. And what I mean by that is, obviously, like, and you'll know this, like, if you haven't done a race for a little bit, it might take you a while to get back into racing. Is that the same with dancing? Like, you could be kind
Oh
of
my god.
rehearsal fit, but not
Yeah.
performance fit.
When I tell you I had a mental breakdown last Sunday, oh my god! I put it on my stories. I was like, "This is hell." Just 'cause I've been on holiday. I've not been able to train. I've got a race in a month. Oh my god, it's a month. Um, it's just been wild that I've not been eating right. I've not been getting my runs in properly, and I think it affects your mind more. Like mind over matter is so strong. So when I just need to do half a marathon for my mind and just complete the time. All I've been doing is like 10Ks or 12Ks and that's it. So when I did it, I was like, this is hell. I'm struggling. I just want to sit down. At the end, I just sat there on a bench. I was like, this is awful because I hadn't done the rehearsal. I hadn't put in the training. So I think, yeah, like it's a massive factor. If you don't keep it, you training. I'm not race ready. I don't feel personally race ready now. I know I'll be able to do it,
Yeah.
but I want to do it well, you know?
We were speaking a while ago before we'd organised this, and actually that's something that you said that really stuck out to me, was like, I need to do it for my head. And I think I related to that a lot, because it's kind of a lot of the reason I do it as well. Yeah,
Is
like
it?
the fitness element is great, but my day is infinitely different if I go out for a run in the morning than if I don't go out for a run in the morning. And I don't know what it
Yeah.
is. I think it's just that clarity or whatever. When did you first discover that running kind of had the power to do that?
I've always known it. I've
Okay.
always known it. And I think the difference between I've always known it and then kind of doing it now is that I went sober 7 months ago. And I've realized for me, I'm so much fitter. My head's more clearer anyway. And I think it was when I got the marathon. I have a goal to achieve that. I was running with a purpose, and I was running for me, even though it was for a charity, for mine. I was the one that was doing it. I'm doing this all for me, not for my job. I have an end goal that's not for me to be dancing on TV topless and trying to look good. Like, I think it was that when it kind of changed for me, for mentally to run with a purpose. Do you run every day, or is it like,
Well, no, like I've had some like change in life and stuff recently, so it's been like, and I'm sure you will have experienced this. I feel like everybody does that runs or trains or does whatever. Like there are ups and downs in life, aren't there? So like
yeah,
sometimes it becomes difficult to squeeze everything in. If I'm being totally honest, but
yeah,
I think it's just reminding yourself that that is the case and that
yeah,
that does help you. So like I think over the past 4 weeks now things are kind of settling down and I'm kind of back into a bit more of a routine. I've picked back up, but I think
good,
as well it's like not beating yourself up when you are in those moments of like I just can't right now. But it is weird how much it does affect my kind of mental headspace and how
yeah,
good I feel when I do it, and not just about like the I feel fitter, but it's just everyday life
yeah.
just feels better. I sometimes describe it as like I feel a bit cloudy if I don't do it, if that makes sense.
You, I, how weird that you said that. As I was on the way back from the gym this morning, I woke up and I was like, I'm just run down. But I was saying to my mum, I was like, if I didn't go gym, I would have felt cloudy all day. That's exactly what I said. I wouldn't have woke myself up. My body wouldn't have been awake. My muscles were just, it is that of the cloudiness around you that when you just have a focus, I think it's like, as Nike says, just do it. Once you've done it, you're just like, oh, I've just done this. And so many people haven't, not to compare, but you're doing something for you again. You're not, other people aren't doing this. You're the one who's running, doing it for you. That cloud just becomes a little bit clearer. And at the end, you go, yeah, give yourself a pat on the back. You've done it. Like,
And people say, the hardest thing is doing it, right? And it genuinely is. Like, I did not want to go out this morning. I decided I wanted to do a bit of a session, and I was like, I just don't want to do this. Like, I'm so busy. I've got loads to get done. But I know, I then told myself, like, if you just stay in, that stuff that you need to get done is going to be harder to do than if you go out and do it. So you're being more productive by actually
yeah,
doing the thing, which I think sometimes is kind of a weird thing for people to think about. Like actually taking time out of something is
yeah,
basically putting time back into something, if that makes
yeah.
sense.
Makes completely sense. I think it's with everyday life, even cleaning, your washing, just doing it. Because if not, I've got 3 loads of washing to do. Right now, I'm sat. I've got to show you this.
Lie, Ost, lie.
This is how many letters I've got to go through, right? Because I'm like, it's just been at the back of my mind, and I'm like, I have to do it. If not, it's just going to be there. But I know after it's done, I'll go, ah, that's one thing done. Yeah, whether it's running or 100 letters, like it just adds that little element of I've done it.
For people that are just listening and not watching, Ost picked up what looked like a Bible then. So we'll go with that. He's got to go through John before he gets to the other disciples.
It literally is a Bible.
It is genuinely.
Totally, totally
When
do it.
you were talking about the spin, like kind of when you were a spin instructor and stuff, like that was dead interesting to me because you said like I like to make people feel good, and I think a lot of your social media presence is about that as well, right?
Yeah.
Like the TikTok presence, the Instagram presence. When did that first kind of enter your life, and then when you're making content and you're doing the things that you're doing on social, does that ever become overwhelming because you are incredibly positive in the
Yeah.
90 percentile.
This all started when at early age, when I was called the class clown by teachers all the time. It was kind of like actually belittling me. Like, Austin's the class clown. My mum and dad got so sick of it, of them kept coming in. Austin's doing this, Austin's doing that. Looking back at it, you could see I was just always up here because I was an entertainer. Like, and I've always liked making people laugh. I've always liked doing elderly people's gardens or washing their car. But I'll do this. I don't know. I love giving back and making people happy. I volunteer at soup kitchens, and the way I get to speak to some of the homeless people, they talk like they've never talked to anyone like it. And I love that I can help people feel better. So it's always been a part of my life and my journey. So when I do the content, I get excited because I'm like, oh, I know that this person's gonna like, oh, this kind of group are gonna like this. This is a throwback. It's gonna remind people of this. But it can get overwhelming. I've not filmed in like with wigs and stuff in like two weeks. Just coming back to it, I'm I'm a bit nervous, I think.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, it's overwhelming, but it's the power of like listening to your body, like you said earlier, of just going, I need to just calm. There's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah, for sure. Where does that, you know, enjoying helping people part of you come from? Is that something that you were brought up with, or do you know where it's come from, or is it just kind of inherently in you?
Never been asked that, but what instantly came to my mind is, like I said prior to this, my dad used to fitness coach for Derby County, and when they were sponsored by McDonald's, they used to have a platinum card, and it was just unlimited McDonald's. And my dad was so fitness freak, we weren't allowed at McDonald's, but we would go to McDonald's if there was homeless people around, and he would just buy bags of this McDonald's, hot, fresh, and we'd just go give it out. And the joy that people would have, oh mate, can I get this? Can I get that? Like, they got so excited, and to see that my dad would make someone happy or multiple people happy, it was just like without knowing, it must have just stayed with me. Like, I want to make you happy. Like, I
Yeah.
think that was a real big factor, and I think I've only just realised that now. How funny! I'm gonna tell my dad
Yeah.
that after.
It's kind of, it's one of those things that you the selflessness of doing that when we are all so busy, I think is so important for people to understand as well. Because my dad, we're relating dad stories now, but my dad said to me, like when I was young, like these unfortunate situations can happen to anybody,
Yeah,
whatever that might be, whether it be that something happens and that you do end up without a home, or God willing that wouldn't happen, but you just never know. And I think for me, like through life, it's always having that thing in my head that like we're very lucky to be in the positions that we're in, and
yeah,
like if we can give back, we should, right? And I think
yeah,
that's the message that I try and remind myself often, is that if I can do something, I kind of should do something.
yeah. And it's so easy to do it. It's so easy. The most thing I love doing is not elderly women, but I like saying it to women as a gay guy. I turn on the cameras so they know I'm gay and I'm not hitting them on them. But I'm like, I just want to say your outfit looks beautiful today. Because not a lot of people do this in real life. A lot of people nowadays are just tunnel vision, get to where you need to be, don't like to speak to strangers. So I love just stop and say, I love your outfit. You've put that time in to make a lovely outfit, to wear this. You're radiating. So I want to compliment it. People get took back a little bit, like, oh, thank you so, so much. And it's not taking any money from me. It's taking 2 seconds of my time, but that could have made someone's day, you know? And I think that's what it's about. It's just trying to share the light. And if you see something that's worth saying, say it. It might change. Someone might need it that day and you really don't know.
And I think that goes throughout life as well, doesn't it? Not just for kind of one um one group of people, but for genuinely everybody. Because
Yeah.
it's so strange. I was having this conversation with my partner last night, and we were talking about kind of the power of words. And what you've just said is so relatable to that, because I was saying to her, like, sometimes people say things and they kind of don't realize that those words are hurtful, but it's the other way around as well. Like, you could say something to somebody that you don't really think is anything. Oh
Yeah,
mate, I love that new t-shirt. Your hair looks sick
yeah,
today. Have you been to the gym? Like, you look class. Like,
yeah,
those little things really, and we know it because like we've heard it. People have said stuff to us over the years, I'm sure.
yeah,
Like, I think just saying the thing and just being aware of words are two very important things.
yeah. It's so true. I feel like me and you relate on this. Like you just said, some little things that are said, you don't realize it sticks with us.
Yeah.
I remember some friends. Sorry if you're watching, but it's just things like bandanas. I really wanted to wear bandanas last year, and I wanted to wear these kind of crop tops and stuff. And my friend was like, "It's not really you, is it?" And I was like, "Oh, what is me? It just doesn't really suit you." And it would hurt me because I'm like, "What is me then? Do I just have to stay?" I don't know. I just felt like it was. If it was the other way around, I was like, "You look, you feel comfortable in that. You wear it. Like you look great in that." Like it's not a lie exactly. Maybe they didn't look great, but I think just little things can be said brighter. Go for it. Oh yeah, you look nice in a bandana. Now I look like a pirate most days because I just wear them all the time. I don't care. Um, but yeah, just some things just don't need to be said. I think.
And there's this thing in the running space at the moment, and you may have seen it dotting about TikTok. And the one that really exploded with it was a girl called Ella Jolly, and she was on the podcast, and she wore a hydration vest out for like a 4K run, right? Because she didn't have anywhere to put her phone, and
Yeah,
girls' clothes are a bit crap with stuff like that. They just don't have the availability to put stuff in, a lot of them. And so she wore it marathon training, and she wasn't marathon training anymore. So she put it on and she went out for a run, and she put it online and has just been absolutely abused
yeah,
basically for it. And it's like, why does that matter? Like, if she wants to do that, let her do it. If you want to wear the
yeah.
bandana, wear the bandana. It's
We'll
like
wear it.
silly.
I haven't seen her, but I see it all the time. That it's actually a thing that I look at the comments for when I see people wearing a running vest. I'm like, I know people are coming for this person if they're wearing a
Yeah.
running vest. Why are you wearing that if it's not marathon training? Shut up. Like it doesn't. You're doing the thing, and this is what I don't like about runners coming for other runners. We're all out here doing the same end goal: is to do something, achieve a goal, whether it is a time or a distance. You're still trying to get to where you need to be. Why are you attacking someone else for doing it? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I used to wear running vests. I used to love it. I wore it here, this and that. My gel's there, and when I started seeing people mocking, I was like, I can't wear a vest now. So now I have a belt. Like it just passes on like wildfire. You don't need to say anything like that. Is she okay about it?
Yeah,
Like,
she's all right now. Like, it's fair play to her. Like, she's kind of making she's kind of done the boss move and made it part of her branding. And like, it's just like, oh,
good.
like, I'm the runner vest girl now. And she was really funny about it on the pod, because she was like, the funny thing is, like, they kind of don't know that they're feeding the algorithm and are kind of making me money here. And I was like, go
Yeah,
on, girl.
you
Like, that's what I want. I
absolutely
absolutely love
use
it.
it. Yeah, turn something good
100%.
from bad. Absolutely.
And I think as well, like, it goes into everything in the running space. The pace conversation, like you say, the distance conversation. It's like, you're running too slow, you're walking. It's like, just leave people alone. Like, everybody's on their own separate journey, and just stop it.
Exactly that. That's the first thing I realized training for this marathon. You're on your own journey. I used to compare myself to like people overtaking me or if I was overtaking them. I don't know if they've just ran 20K or if they've just ran 1K. They don't know vice versa. When I get overtaken by a 70-year-old, I think, go on, boy. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if he's just started his race and I'm finishing it. I don't know because everyone's on their own little journey. Just do you. That's biggest important thing in running and life, I think. Just do what you're doing.
Let's chat about the marathon then. Like,
Yeah.
talk me through the whole journey, right? You get that email, you get the confirmation. It says, Austyn, you're running 26.2. Like, how do you feel in that moment?
I cried.
Did
That's outside.
you?
I have the video on here. I was outside Liberties on the way to the gym, and I sat down. I was like, I just cried. For 4 years, I've tried to do this as a dancer. I wanted to do it, but I couldn't. My dad was like, your knees could get messed up, this and that." you don't want to get injured. That's your work, dancing. So to do it, and just so you know, there was grafting within it. I applied for it. I didn't get in the ballot. I spoke to mine. They was like, "You're on the reserve list." I was like, "Look, please let me be first reserve." And I messaged a mass. It was like the Bible again. And so yeah, the day after I wrote that is when they confirmed me. And I was just like, "It's gonna happen. I'm gonna do it." And it was mainly for the fact of why I wanted to do it, of doing it for a reason. And I was just like, I get to run it for mind, mental health, especially. Just it felt so amazing to be able to give back, but also challenge myself, you know?
And what was that journey from that email to the start line like? Was there times in those weeks and months where you thought to yourself like, what have I done here? I could have just not done this? Or was it very much like positivity the whole way through?
It has changed my life. Like, and I mean it. Like, I used to smoke 20 cigarettes a day. I used to drink 3, 4 times a week. And now it's none. I meal prep. I just have a different outlook on life. And I generally mean it hand on heart. I've never been this happy because I realized if I can get through this training, if I can get through a marathon, if I can do this, I could push my mind to do so much. I can be the person I want to be. I can get the body I want to be where I'm comfortable and confident. There was never any doubt. There was doubt of can I do this 3 hour training run, and I would cry. I've got a busy lifestyle, and it just getting through it was incredible. Just to say I've done it. I never doubted myself, but there were times when I was like, my body wants to give up.
Yeah. I think we're as runners, we all would have had our algorithms popping off the day after London, just going completely mad. And it was Manchester the same day as well. And I had so many mates over
Yeah,
there, and I had so many people that I know or I've interviewed or met through the running space in London and Manchester as well. So literally, I was scrolling. I remember the next day, and I'm just thinking, this is absolutely insane. And I came across you, and that's I think how I first came across you, and you were probably the most excited, energetic, like positive person on that app that day, which is saying something because like it was insane. But you could just see there was a single photo that you posted, or I can't remember if it was in a carousel or whatever, but it was your smile. I was like, this means so much to this man.
yeah.
And that's what it felt like. It just felt like it meant so much to you. And hearing you speak about it now, it really did, didn't it?
It. I could cry now because it meant so much. Like I framed the picture in my hallway, like and my medal. It was so important to do it that I generally had a crash like 3 weeks after the. Everyone's like, "Oh, the crash happens immediately." No, for me, I was on such a high. I still kind of am, like because it was just so good. I was dancing the day after it around on the Hyde Park with music. My body had it settled in, but it does mean the world to me. My dad did it when he was 32 for the first time. Did it in 2 hours 47 minutes. I was like, what?
Savage.
Yeah, and there was just so many reasons to smile and be emotional about it that it is just yeah that feeling I'll never ever forget
What was that
knowing
moment
I
like
did it.
with your old man then? Like, because I imagine that was pretty special as well when you kind of you've got that matching moment, right?
Yeah,
I know it sounds like I'm trying to make you cry here, Ross. I promise I'm not. But
no.
yeah, it must have been pretty special.
It was amazing, but then also my dad's my dad and does his own thing. We had the map sorted out. Dad, you're gonna stand here. My mum, dad, sister came down with a balloon, knew where they were on Tower Bridge. I see them then. I was like, wow, they're there. And as I was running to Tower Bridge, I see them. I like cry, cry, cry. But I said I'll stop at the Mall. So when it was coming to the end, I seen them and I was like, Mum, where's my dad? No. He thought I'm going to get a better view around the corner. So I actually did end up seeing him at the end bit. I wanted to hug everyone then, but He's seen me, so I was still happy he got a video of it. But it was amazing after just to hug them and like we've shared this moment. My mum also ran it as well. I just wanted to do it to be like we've run the marathon. I
Yeah.
have all they've always inspired me. When I see that photo of my dad with the time, him running through that race line, it just sticks with me. That I was like, I'm so glad we have this in common to talk about. We have so much stuff, but that we've both done and achieved something so strong there.
The beauty of stuff like this, and like genuinely, I've got little goose pimples here because it's just amazing to hear you so passionate about it. But the beauty of events, whatever it be, whether it be 5K, a 10K, and whatever your thing is, right? A marathon, a Ironman, a ultra, whatever, is once you've done it, you've got it for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
And I think like you saying, you've got your medal and that photo framed in your hall, that's there forever. Like you've
yeah,
got that forever. You will have always
yeah,
run the London Marathon now. And
yeah,
no matter how much it hurts in that 4 hours or however long you're taking to do a marathon, it's kind of nothing compared
yeah,
to the rest of your life.
yeah,
And it's when you start thinking about it like that, it's like, oh, right. Yeah,
yeah,
I definitely should do another one.
yeah. Why not booking for four? Like
Yeah, I
it
know.
is, like whether it's the picture or medal or what, it's the memories that you have of going. I'm doing this. Like that's one thing I did do when I took it in, and that's when I first sobbed at Tower Bridge. When you turn that corner and you see everyone there, I'm getting goosebumps now. You go, I slowed down a little bit. I was like, this is it. Like this road is closed. This never happens.
Yeah.
I'm running the marathon. It's happening. I'm nearly halfway there. It's so amazing.
I
So
think
incredible.
for you as well, London is home and you've made London home over the years. And I've done it a couple of times, but like London isn't my home, right? It
Yeah,
hasn't been
fine.
my home. I've spent a lot of time there, but it's never been the base. And
Yeah,
I often speak to people who for London that has been the case. And I think there's always like this little extra 5 or 10% because when you're running around these places, you're like, oh, I know this place, or like I've been to that club on Saturday night, or like
yeah,
I know what it's like to walk across
yeah,
here at rush hour. And it's so weird that you're nine deep on the barriers, everybody's cheering literally the whole way around, and you get to do
yeah,
things like run up the Mall and run over Tower Bridge. And
yeah,
it's those moments of, and it kind of flashes back to what we were talking about at the start of the conversation. And it's nice that you did it, you slowed down and you took it in because
yeah,
they're the things, aren't they, that you want to remember?
yeah. Because when you put all them hours of training, thoughts, shopping the equipment, researching how to be a runner, how do I do this?
How do, how
Yeah,
do I run? Google.
yeah. How do I run? It is so important. When you are running, I get it. Some professionals want to get a time. I wanted to get a time. I wanted to get sub 3, and I wasn't going to ignore the world that day to get sub 3. Like, truthfully, I was in shock when it came to like 21 miles. I was like, okay, I need to really slow down. But I was like, I'm not gonna ignore the world just to get a time. I'm not there. I'm not there yet. So it was nice to slow down there. It was nice to hug my family. It was nice to go through, especially the gay pride bit. Like,
Yeah.
it was so important to take it in because there's so much joy. I'd say it's probably the happiest day in London. Everyone's smiling, everyone's drinking. You don't hear of any really fights or any arguments. Everyone is supporting people, and it's the most beautiful thing. Whether you're watching it or running it, it's. I think people watching it are more exhausted than people running it because they're just constantly cheering. Like it's
Cheering or
it's
crying.
so amazing. Yeah,
Literally cheering or crying.
yeah,
And do you know what? That takes so much. I know we were making the joke of like, how do I run? Putting that into Google, but like, it takes so much maturity when you're kind of doing your first marathon to actually think, I want to take this in. And
yeah.
I only say that because I've been in places many times where I have never taken it in. And actually, if I'm being honest, hand on heart, both times I've done London, I haven't had the experience that you had. But that
You
was
know,
only because I enjoyed it, don't get me wrong, the second time
yeah,
particularly. and I did enjoy it, but I didn't enjoy it like I wanted to enjoy it. And that is just
Okay.
because I put too much pressure on it, and I didn't have that kind of foresight that you had to be like, just take it in. And like, if
Yeah.
I ever do it again, and I'm sure I will at some point in my life, it will be the like, I just want to take this in. I just want to run it to enjoy it and not to put
Yeah.
too much pressure on myself.
Yeah. I think it changes the game.
Yeah.
I think it really does. Because I also think, like, if I surprised myself, I did surprise when I got to that halfway point. When it was saying 13.1, it was like 1 hour 24 minutes, and that's a
Okay.
PB for me.
Flying. Yeah.
I'm normally around 1 hour 28, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going for gold here. And I thought, oh my God, maybe I could get sub three, but I was not still gonna go for gold. I thought, if it happens, it happens. And in the back of my head, I'm just not going to make sure that that's the only reason I'm doing it. So if it did happen, I'm so grateful for it. I'm so happy I'll be over the moon. But if it doesn't, I've not battered myself to make sure I get that three. It
Yeah.
just means I've not failed. Do you know what I mean? Because that wasn't the intention. I think that's what we do a lot is we set ourselves up for failure, like in case it doesn't happen.
That's the case in every part of life, and it goes back to
Yeah,
what we're saying about the grind, right? And that's the career that you were in terms of the dancing side of things, and when you were traveling, when you were grinding,
yeah,
you're doing that because you just want the next thing and the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, and actually to maybe without all of that and maybe without all of those experiences, you wouldn't have had the foresight to be like, well, in this instance, I kind of just want to be in the moment. um
yeah,
Crossing the line, we've spoken about how emotional the whole day was. And I know that would have been an incredibly emotional experience, getting the medal around your neck. What was that 10 minutes like, when you've stopped your watch and you're in that, pen with everyone around you, and then you're going to try and find
yeah.
everybody. The signal's terrible, but you've just done this thing,
Oh
and
my
you're kind of
God,
like,
that.
you don't feel like you almost, it feels like existential, doesn't it? An out of body
Yeah,
experience. Like, what
it
was that moment like?
that an out of body experience because you stop. I didn't stop for the whole way round. So when I did stop, I was like,
I should be running still.
yeah, my. It felt like it wasn't my body, and luckily, I because I live in London, most of my runs I'd make sure I finish on the mount running
Oh
up
no.
there. So I'd vision it. I'd vision this moment. So when I was running down, like there's videos of it. I was on the news. It has. I was like, yes, but I'm like cheering. I'm like this, that. All the adrenaline's coming out. So when I did start, I was like, oh my God. Put the neck round, and the woman. Oh God, I forgot her name. She's like, do you want a hug? And I was like, yeah. She was like, crying. Then I stepped down. Someone was like, can you take a photo for me? And I was like, okay. So I was like, this is like two different emotions that I'm going through. Collecting my bag, and then I went and seen my family, and I just said, can I just be quiet for a minute? I could go again. I was like, can I just be silent for a second? Is that all right? And I was like, yeah, of course. And just these tears just flowed out of like everything I envisioned was there. And I was like, it is just incredible.
Yeah.
God, I can't wait. I'm doing it again next year. I can't wait.
Are you
I
in?
really can't
You've
wait.
got a
Yeah.
place. Amazing.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm so
That's
excited.
that's what I was gonna that was what I was gonna ask. Like, where do we go from here? Because I know it's been a bit up and down for you this year with commitments and just being super busy, and like, just as I've already spoken about, like, you have these periods that are like peaks and troughs, right? But
Yeah.
we're going to be going into a big old peak if that's the case in, like a few months time. So
Yeah.
how do you you're obviously incredibly looking forward to it, but how did it feel when you did get that place again? And was it a straight away thing? Was it like, I've got to do that again, or did it take a little bit?
I said straight away, even before doing the London Marathon, I was like, I want to do world majors. I want to do loads. This has changed my life that much. And I get to share it on influence people on social media. And when it did happen, I was just like, I definitely want to do it again. I messaged Mind. We ended up raising like £10,500, and they were so grateful. I actually went in for a meeting with them, and the first thing they said, like we were just walking into the office, they was like, "So you're gonna do marathon next year for us?" I was like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Yeah, of course." It felt like 5 years of begging, like grafting to do it for them. And then they asked me. I was like, absolutely, it felt like an honor, a privilege to do it. So yeah, so excited. I've got a few races coming up this year, and it's just mind blowing that this is my life.
Yeah.
It's
Uh,
mental.
we'll finish with this, Os, because like it's been such an amazing conversation. I've loved this, but you know, there's been a few times in this where you've said like this is life changing, and you've mentioned like giving up booze and giving up smoking and all that sort of stuff as well. And you know, that was a period of your life, and now you look back at that, and we've spoken about that as well, right? Looking back, but let's say you're getting
Yeah,
out time hop, right, and you're seeing one of those
yeah.
memories that reminds you of that person. Um, how do you relate to him now? Like, how do you feel about him?
So different. A video came up the other day of a year ago, and my eyes are like, I mean, I'm tired now, but for different reasons. I look exhausted. Like, I'm trying to push through life. I'm swollen. I'm lethargic. I was depressed. I was anxiety up. And I've been in such a, it wasn't a bad place. I was enjoying myself at the time, but I knew that there was more to life. So I look back at it and think, I'm sorry for you because I know you were drinking through, you were smoking through so many reasons why that you were scared to kind of be yourself or scared to take a change. And I think it's more him looking at me because this is what I've always wanted to kind of be an adult, someone that's happy with life and ticking off things that they want to do. So I think he's looking at me thinking, I'm glad you're there. Like, you know, oh God.
We'll
Yeah,
bring
it's a, it's a,
we'll bring
it's a
this to a
proud
close,
feeling.
Austin. Not make you cry again.
I'll
I'll
try
make
it.
you laugh.
I'll
I'll
try
make
it,
you laugh.
mate.
I'll say, go and sort your post.